Hey friends, it's Mel. Welcome back to my kitchen and welcome back to another week's worth of dinners. Let me be the first to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're enjoying the fall season. You can see my backyard is full of falling leaves. It's beautiful when they're on the trees and they're pretty when they're falling, but my husband's out here every night with the mower mulching them up. I hope you're enjoying this fall as much as we are. If you're ready for some dinner inspiration and some meal ideas, just sit back, grab that sweet tea, and let me do the cooking. We're going to start out with an old favorite. It's a baked Tuscan chicken casserole. And the first thing I'm working on is the spread that you put over everything. You start out with about 6 ounces of spinach. Mine was frozen. I just microwaved it a little bit and really drained all the water out of it. Into that, I mixed in about 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. This was one of those days. It was like everything I picked up, I dropped, and everything I went to do, I had to redo. Do you ever have those days? I switch back and forth between a fork and a spoon 2 or 3 times in this recipe. Into that spinach and cream cheese, you're going to pour in about 1/3 cup of some heavy cream, and you're just going to get all of that mixed in very well together. Then I'm going to add in some garlic. I'm going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Going to use about 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Then I'm going to put about 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. And I'm going to use about 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You just want to get all that mixed up together really well. Then you're going to add in some cheeses. We're going to go back to the spoon for this. Looks like. But once you get it mixed up, we are going to add in some cheeses. I'm going to go in with about 1/3 cup of Parmesan. I just finished off this bag that I had there in the refrigerator. And about 1/2 cup of mozzarella. You're going to save a little bit of mozzarella to go on the top there towards the end too. Mix it all in together. And I have some chicken tenders here. You can use chicken breasts, chicken tenderloins, whatever you have. And I've just spread them out in a greased casserole dish, and I'm just taking that cream cheese and spinach mixture with all those seasonings, and I'm going to spread it out over all of my chicken. Now this recipe calls for about 8 ounces. I do not use 8 ounces of these sun-dried tomatoes. This is my family's preference. This is a very strong taste, and these in oil seem to be especially strong. So I just usually pull me out a little forkful, and I'll just cut them up really little and just kind of place them around a little bit. It's a wonderful taste. Now we love this, but it is pretty strong. So I just kind of place them over the top of that mixture wherever, I want them, and spread them out a little bit. But I'm just going to finish it off with a little more mozzarella cheese. I'm going to cover this really loosely and bake it in a 400-degree oven, covered for about 20 minutes. Then pull that foil off and bake it another 10 to 15 minutes. Just making sure that your chicken's cooked thoroughly. Look how beautiful and bubbly this is. This was one of those recipes that surprised me. I didn't think my family would like it, but they absolutely love this recipe and request it often. I just made some instant mashed potatoes, threw in a little butter, some salt and pepper. I have some of this cream cheese that's in a squirty tube. I just squirt some of that in there, and it kind of doctors them up a little bit. This was a quick, easy, I believe this was like a Monday night meal. It felt like a Monday when I was doing this. Once again, I have the fork and I'm moving on to a spoon and throwing potatoes everywhere. You know, Mondays. This was a delicious and warm meal. We did have some cool temperatures this week. I don't know how it is where you guys are, but we did have some, and this was very warm, comforting. We love the taste of this meal. Now the next night we're going Taco Tuesday, and I've got some Spanish rice, just packaged rice, cooking up on one side of the stove, and I'm browning up some hamburger meat for taco on the other side of the stove. We're going to do like a Taco Bell Meximelt. I'm always just looking for something different to do with taco meat because we love taco, but it's fun to find different things. So basically I'm just taking a big tortilla. Actually, these are not the big burrito size. These are the soft taco size. And this is mine. I'm putting in some taco meat, some shredded cheese. I'm putting in some pico de gallo. My husband doesn't like tomatoes and all that, but he did want rice in his, so that was good. And I put the taco sauce in his. I didn't put taco sauce in mine, but I did throw some green onions in there. And I just folded this up and wrapped it up really good, and then I stuck it back in the microwave for about 40 seconds, just long enough to get that cheese nice and melted on the inside. I did put a little taco sauce over mine and some sour cream on the side. This was yummy. It's really just a glorified little fresh take on a beef burrito, but they were yummy and good, and I just had some of that pico on the side with some chips. I think my husband had some cheese and chips on the side with his, but this was just yummy and fresh. And of course I'll have some of this taco meat left over to do something else with too. Now I'm just scrubbing up some potatoes. I had a new Crockpot recipe I wanted to try, and I think I probably used too much potatoes in it and the wrong kind, but it was a honey garlic chicken. And I thought it would turn out with the very sticky, gooey sauce, but mine really didn't. My potatoes, it said to use red potatoes, and I just had regular old white potatoes, and I think it was too much starch for it. Plus, I filled my crock pot full because I needed to get these potatoes used, and I just, look at that, I used way too many potatoes. Anyway, sliced them up. I had some chicken breast that I had already put down in my crock pot, and then on top of that I put all the potatoes that I peeled and cubed, and then I kind of cubed up this onion and put it down in there. You can see how full this crock pot is. I just I don't know what I was thinking. It still tastes really good. It just didn't have the richness that I thought it would have. Oh yeah, I forgot I threw those carrots in too because they needed to get used. But here is the sauce. I probably could have doubled this and had a lot better result, but I've used a third a cup of honey and then just a teaspoonful of garlic. I used a half a cup of soy sauce, and I did not have low sodium soy sauce, so I didn't put any additional salt in this. I used a fourth a cup of ketchup, and then I used a teaspoon of Italian seasoning and some black pepper. Just mix this sauce up really well, and then you pour it over everything and kind of try to stir it in. And the original recipe for this also said like the last 30 minutes of cooking to throw you some green beans in there. I don't think I could even fit one green bean in this crock pot. I had it so full, like you can't even see the chicken. But like I said, everything kind of just got a little bit too starchy, I think. just where I had too many of the white potatoes in there. But anyhow, I let mine cook all day long on low. It's like 6 or 7 hours. You could cook it on high from 3 to 4. I had some green beans that I did fix up on the side to go with this, and some macaroni and cheese. I had a little bit of bacon grease left in this cup here. I was just showing you that where I had made some bacon earlier in the week. I had not had any bacon grease put back in the fridge for a while, so always if I have it, I like to season my beans with it. And then this is just the macaroni and cheese that we use. This is yummy. Super simple. You can see the sauce. Everything kind of turned the same color. It had a really good flavor. And I think I'm going to use the rest of the chicken that's left in there. And I think I'm going to pull it out and put some barbecue sauce with it and maybe do some barbecue chicken sandwiches. On another night, I'm starting out with just a nice big bag of tater tots, and we're going to make us some chili dogs and chili buns. You can see I've got 2 better cheddar, Johnsonville better cheddar dogs over there in a little pan, and I'm just getting ready to stick those in the oven and get them nice and cooked up and crispy, along with these tater tots. Not much to this really. I cooked my tots up here just according to the directions, and I'm just kind of making sure they're not stuck, and I'm just kind of going to mound them all together, and I'm just going to load them up a little bit tonight. I was feeling real extra. Sometimes you just got to go for it. So I just put shredded cheddar cheese all over the top of these, and like I said, they've already been cooked here. We're just melting our toppings here. I had some bacon crumbles, put that over the top of them. But I just put those back in the oven. I watched them very close on broil, just long enough to get it all melted. And that is so yummy. So here I'm fixing up my husband's dogs, and I always like to put cheese down in the bottom of his. And I put the mustard down in the bottom. Then I'll put his 2 cheddar wurst on there. I don't really like hot dogs, but I like how this looks when you do them in the oven and they get some color on them. I just like that better than like boiling them. I don't even eat them. But here is the chili that we're using tonight. We love Van Camp's chili with beans. This is my husband's favorite. And then this is my daughter's favorite. I'm going to show you. We just go back and forth. We use this Kroger chili sauce. We love that. So if we're not having Van Camp's, we're having Kroger chili sauce. But tonight, we let Dad have his favorite there, that good old Van Camp's chili with beans. And of course, he's going to have to eat these with a fork. They are messy. Had to put on a chili eating shirt, something you don't care to dribble all over when you eat these things. But I just topped them off with some good old sweet onion cut up. Fixed him up some of these loaded tater tots and some ranch dressing. Like I said, you can't eat like this every day, but sometimes you just have to. We hadn't had chili buns in a long time. Doesn't that look good? That is the top of our treat list around here, is a chili bun. One night we had eaten out at a local restaurant. This is Patrick's Burger. It had bacon and barbecue sauce on it. We ate Smoky Mountain Brewery was where this was. And this is a chicken salad club. You can kind of see the chicken salad under there. And then they have a piece of melted cheese and bacon. Has onions and lettuce. I love this. And Maddie, of course, had her favorite fried chicken tenders and fries. Now, I'm just going to share with you a quick little cake mix cookie. This is so simple. 3 ingredients. You have a boxed cake mix, 2 eggs, and 1/3 cup of oil. There are lots of recipes on the internet with other things that you can add into these that are delicious. Cream cheese, chocolate chips. I mean, you can put a lot of different things in them and really make them fancy. But to me, the beauty of this little cookie is if you have a cake mix and a little bit of oil and 2 eggs, you can have yourself some cookies. I was just feeling extra thankful. Looking around at God's beauty this week, I've been overwhelmed at His graciousness and His goodness. I don't want to miss this Thanksgiving season. I love Christmas, but I don't want to miss this Thanksgiving season. So I've just been super grateful this week, and I just wanted to do something to show my family that I was grateful for them, and I was going to share some of these with my husband's work too. But anyway, you mix these cookies up. I use a little cookie scoop. You can roll it into balls. You can do it however you want to. It helps if you refrigerate it for a few minutes, but I didn't go there. I just jumped right in. You cook them at 350 degrees. Start checking them about 7 minutes. I think mine went maybe 11 or 12. You can maybe see the edges are just barely brown here. I'm not sure if that shows well. But you do want to make sure if you want a puffy cookie that you let them cook long enough, because if you leave them soft in the middle like a gooey, they're going to go flat. And I like these to be kind of puffy. And you can make any kind of cake mix you want, use any kind of flavorings, any kind of icing or no icing. At Bible school, we had a lady who would make these, and she would go ahead and roll them up and freeze them, and then like weeks before Bible school, and then some of us would come in and just bake them up right before Bible school. And she would have just all kinds of different flavors and all different kinds of icings. I'm just making a little icing out of about a cup of powdered sugar, and I just keep adding a little bit at a time of this whipping cream in, just getting it to the consistency I want. What I wanted to do with these was just kind of dunk the top side of them down into the icing, and then let them set and do some sprinkles over the top. These would be really cute for Valentine's. Mine were strawberry, but I don't know how. It seems like I did not have a lemon cake. That's what I wanted, but I had a couple of chocolate cakes and this strawberry cake, and I had a ton of butter cakes. But I thought, pink would be sweet. We'll just make them pink. I don't think my husband's work friends will mind eating these cute little pink cookies. They were sure tasty. Guys, I appreciate you watching so much this week. I hope that you have found maybe something you forgot that you haven't made in a while, or something new that you'd like to try. Again, let me say happy Thanksgiving to you before we even end this weekend. I pray that you would have a blessed week and a blessed Thanksgiving. And don't forget to give the good Lord thanks for all the wonderful blessings that He's given you. He has given me your friendship, and I count that as one of my greatest blessings. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, until I see you next time, I send you love from my kitchen.